Welcome to another edition of the Voice of VIet Vegas. This is a special episode of Meet the Candidate. Today, I'm pleased to have a good friend of the Asian community, attorney Sunny Bailey, with us. She is an attorney, a hearing master, a former judge pro tem, a former acting labor commissioner, and she is running for elections for the Department I, a judge of the Nevada 8th Judicial District Court Family Divisions. Please welcome Sunny Bailey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, just to summarize. And again, my name's Sunny Bailey. I'm running for Family Court Department I in Clark County, Nevada. I originally came from the state of Washington. I was raised on a farm. My mom's a retired hairdresser. My dad's a retired heavy equipment mechanic. I attended the University of Washington on a scholarship, and I also worked as a food server. I attended the Seattle University School of Law. After I graduated, I became a deputy prosecuting attorney in actually King County, Seattle area. And after the birth of my first daughter, I took some time off. And when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I found out that my eldest was autistic and she became very violent. And so we looked for a program. We couldn't find anything in the Seattle area that suited us. And my former college roommate lived in Henderson. She found an amazing program here through the Lovaas Center. So in 2003, our family moved down here and we started this great program for my daughter. And she made incredible strides over the next 15 years in the program. She went from about 250 violent episodes a day down to about one a month. And she's now 22 years of age. And because of the amazing support of this community in that program, I was able to pursue my legal career, which you kind of highlighted. I was a deputy public defender. I was also a pro tem judge for the City of Las Vegas Municipal Court and Las Vegas Justice Township. I am the former acting labor commissioner for the state of Nevada. And for the last 5 years, I've been a hearing master in family court in juvenile delinquency, minor guardianship, and discovery. And as a juvenile delinquency hearing master, I started the only program in the nation called the Detention Alternative for Autistic Youth that is set to divert youth on the spectrum out of the criminal justice system. So far, we have 29 current participants and 18 graduates.
Wow, it's an incredible story. I think that you sum up everything that we need to ask. Basically, that I think that you probably attending on almost every events that occurs in Las Vegas, whether it is a community event, a charitable event, a political event, and you probably known by 3/4 of the people who live in Las Vegas. And your name is actually like, Samsung. And everyone knows Samsung, right? From the product from TV to basically almost any electronics store that carries the Samsung. You are so well known here. But if someone asks you that why you are running for the positions that you are currently running, what you wanted to tell them?
Well, I'm running because, number one, this community is amazing, as you already said. I'm very involved in this community. My family's involved in this community. And this community has supported my family because of the support I received and the amazing program I was able to work, which was something I never thought I would be able to do when my daughter was diagnosed with autism and became so violent. And because of that, we love to give back. But one of the major reasons is I currently work with children, at-risk youth, and I work with families on their worst day, is what we call it in family court. I love helping the families and the youth of this community. We have an amazing community. I believe that every youth is worth saving, and to give back to that community, which is what I've been doing as a juvenile delinquency hearing master, I want to continue to serve this community and help with all the kids and the families that see family court.
Yeah, I know you for a little while now, and basically that the pro bono works that you have been offering to the community is just incredible. And I really admire the way that you carry yourself and helping the community. Let me ask you this question. You have a wide range of experience in the legal system, being as an attorney, a public defender, a prosecutor, municipal court judge, as you just mentioned, a hearing master. What do you see that need to be fixed in our legal system?
I think the biggest thing is access. People need to be able to not feel so intimidated when you're walking into the court system. They need to be able to have access to our self-help centers. They need to be able to have access to people who can answer questions for them and help them through the process. Sometimes people are too scared to start something because they have no idea what it is, or sometimes they might not speak or feel that they speak enough English to represent themselves, and they feel paranoid. They don't understand that they can ask for an interpreter. We can give them those interpreter services and help them make it through the system. And I think that people are just intimidated by it. Also, it takes a long time to get things done. And so we really try to push cases along and get them to resolution, especially in cases that involve child custody or divorce. People want a resolution. They don't want these things dragging out for years. And we try to help that along by speeding things up.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier that your name attached to in helping autistic kids, you help the court system to deal with the autistic kid. Now, most of the kids and the teenager who come in from, they appear before you, have never had any therapy. So they arrest typically because of the side effect of the autism. So what can you share with us about this problem, and what can the community and the court system be able to help those issues?
Well, the first thing is early intervention is key. Anyone who believes their child may be on the autism spectrum or may seem a little bit slower in development, they need to get testing early, because early intervention with the applied behavioral analysis, they've shown that up to 63% of those children who are diagnosed with autism can be mainstreamed, and they can be able to take part in regular classes, they can hold jobs, they can integrate and support themselves. Unfortunately, with most of the youth, actually all the youth that come in front of me, they usually have no services whatsoever, and some of them have been misdiagnosed. Often they're diagnosed with oppositional defiance, ADHD, or bipolar, or anything else, and they expect medication or something to be able to fix this. It's not, it's a behavioral component. So they don't know how to calm themselves down. They don't know how to accept no for an answer. So we need to give the parents and the youth the tools in order to become successful. And often the parents are so desperate just to keep peace in their house that they just are walking on eggshells. They let the child just, they don't want to do anything that will make the child upset. They don't want to have holes punched in their wall. They don't want to be battered. Teachers don't want to have them hit. So by integrating them and getting them the proper programs and support, we have seen amazing children change and family changes. The parents come in, they look tired. They've given up. Some of them want to turn their child into CPS or Child Haven because they say, we can't handle this anymore. We're scared. By the time they leave our program with these skills, they're walking out. They said, thank you so much. We feel lighter. We feel like a family. We can go out to eat. We're not scared. And the children have just thrived. We have 3 graduates of our program who are currently graduating high school, and they're getting ready to go on. And those are children the parents were ready to give up on years ago. So we're making great strides, but if we could get more people to ask questions and to get support for these youth before they enter our system, then we might be able to help even more children that we haven't been able to until they enter our system. We want to avoid entering our system at all costs.
That problem is actually whether it is your friends or your family's member or someone that you know of, you always find there's quite a few people who actually have kids who have autism. So, and some people actually they're thinking that because of the vaccine, and some people thinking that other issues. But in your opinions, what caused more of those kids that become autistic?
I don't know the causes. I do know that we're testing more. So we're actually finding more youth on the spectrum because we're looking for it. So years ago, children that would have been ignored or just called quirky or weird are actually on the spectrum. We're actually testing them and getting them services so they could integrate and actually have a full life without feeling like outcasts or things like that. We can help them in social situations, and that can help them hold jobs. That can help them go to college. That can help them be successful. The current rate is 1 in 59 children that are being diagnosed. I believe 1 in 43 are boys. And then if you take simple statistical analysis, we do not know how many adults are in the criminal justice system or in our prisons who are on the autism spectrum who were never diagnosed, that we might have been able to help and prevent them from entering into that system, which is why the program was born.
Okay, going back to the question that previously asked, if someone appear on your court, and how do you detect it, or is there a way that you can test to see that if the person or the kids having issues with autistic?
Actually, what we do is if we suspect someone is on the autism spectrum, we schedule them for a neuropsychological evaluation. Often there's only a couple places in this valley that do them, and the wait list can be from 6 months to 18 months. Because they're in our system, we can expedite that process. We usually get them an assessment within 30 to 60 days. And based on that assessment, we can immediately start necessary program. And we have such amazing community providers through ATAP, which is Autism Treatment Assistance Program, Desert Regional Center. We have VIet, Families for Effective Autism Treatment, Spectrum on Ice, as well as many, we call them BCBAs, behavioral consultants, who volunteer their time in order for us to be able to address the needs of these families. And we have an entire courtroom full of people who are willing to assist us. And in the meantime, if we do suspect that they are on the spectrum, we start in court doing some behavioral analysis, which is positive reinforcement. So we start teaching the parents about how certain behaviors can be shaped by positive reinforcement. Usually that's through video games, candy, something simple, just to build that relationship and let them understand that there's a correlation that we can adapt those behaviors.
Yeah, you are well regarded in the communities. Everywhere that I go, I mean, when we mention about your name, they really, really appreciated the work that you have done for the community, as well as your professionalism, and you get involved with almost everything that I know of and that I run to. So, and you've been endorsed by practically every organization and unions in the area. How do you feel about your candidacy?
I feel very strong about my candidacy. I feel that I've already established myself as a hearing master for the last 5 years and proven that I can do the job. I believe I've proven that I absolutely love this community and I want to serve this community. I have served this community in community service, through the court system as an attorney. I just believe that Las Vegas and Clark County has one of the most amazing support systems, as we have demonstrated again and again. And I love being part of that. And I believe that the endorsements that I've received shows that my involvement with this community has not gone unrecognized.
Right, right. You have participated in hundreds of trials, hearings as either a hearing master or as a presiding judge. How do you keep your impartiality in the courtroom?
It's pretty simple, actually. The nice thing about being on the bench is that you are the neutral. You're not arguing for one side or the other. So you take all the facts and then you apply the law and then you come to a resolution. So it's actually easier than when you're advocating from one side or the other. I have the law behind me so I can do the research and then apply the facts. And that's usually how we render our decisions.
But actually, in the family court, there's a lot of emotions going on now. And as a female judge, how do you isolate yourself, your emotions on the case?
That's where 23 years of experience comes in.
All right.
And actually, as far as whether or not it's male or female, it really doesn't matter because it's the facts. And sometimes you get facts that are pretty horrific. We see people on their worst day. That's what we always say about family court. We are the emotional court. And the important thing is you need to make sure that you don't get wrapped up in the emotions of everything, because you're the person that has to keep control of that courtroom. People are there because the person that they have just spent that or thought they were going to spend the rest of their life with, they no longer are. And now we have to go through with the separation. And then with children involved, now we just elevated that. Then we add financial hardship and all the emotional things that come with it. And we have to be able to, as the neutral on the bench, we have to be able to separate all that and look at the facts. And it doesn't matter, male, female, same-sex couples, or children, which I'm dealing with in the juvenile delinquency hearings. We have to make sure that we can separate all those things and apply the law. Sometimes it's a little bit harder than others because the emotions, you have to make sure people are behaving appropriately. But as long as you have the experience to do so, it helps. Having been a former criminal prosecutor, as well as a defense attorney and a civil attorney, and all my pro tem experience really helped, as well as the last 5 years on the bench.
Your last word to the audience and the voters, why should they vote for you?
Well, I hope that I've earned the vote from this community that has supported me, and I have served this community for the last 5 years as a hearing master in family court. I would like to continue to do so as your next judge. As was already mentioned, I'm already endorsed by fire, police, and labor. That includes SEIU, culinary, bartenders, IATSE, local labor 872, IBEW, as well as the Juvenile Justice Probation Officers Association and the Clark County Prosecutor's Office Association. And I was just endorsed today by the Clark County Marshals Association. So I hope that I have established and shown exactly that my experience over the last 23 years will serve this community well. So I hope for your vote, Sunny Bailey, Department I in Family Court.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you success and best of luck in your campaign. I hope to see you again, hopefully after the primary, or even, you don't have to come back because you get more than 50% of the vote. So you eliminate them all, right?
Let's hope.
But anyway, thank you so much for your time, and then encourage the audience out there who are watching this program to learn more about Sunny Bailey. She is the candidate for judge, for family judge, district, A district, correct?
Correct.
Department I, right? And her Facebook is posted on the screen, as well as her
my webpage as well.
As well. So please consider her. I look forward to see you again next time. Thank you so much for your time. And
thank you.
For the audience, thank you so much for watching this episode. The Voice of Vegas appreciated your audienceship. Have a pleasant day.